Um, Distinctly English, but obviously a twist on the Hugh Grant typecast role, which has been done and done and done to death. So he won't have a clue. But like Kirsten Dunst's character in Elizabethtown, she will, or rather he will, do literally 98% of the talking, and the female lead role will just sit and listen and listen and listen and listen. Just Elizabethtown, but the roles reversed. That's really what I'm thinking. And chief among the conversation will be the English guy explaining his experiences, mostly of the trip, but a lot of his own backstory too. And during this load of dialogue, which will take many, many, many hundreds, possibly thousands of words, because it's a huge element of my plot, I'm thinking. This is where we'll really get to know the character. He will only at this point reveal most of himself. In the initial, I'm thinking, I'm aiming 40,000 words, so if we break that down into sort of, if you divide it by sort of 5, that leaves 8. So in the first fifth will be 8,000 words. So in the first 8,000 words, well, let's say 6,000 words, mostly intro, describing the bus, describing a few of the characters on there, describing sort of the conditions, day to night, day to night, day to night, and it will run through pretty quickly the places he's visited. Obviously this will require some level of research, because you can't write about a road trip intelligently and accurately unless you do some research on locations themselves. You can't just say the character sat on the bus for a long time, so he's got to get off the bus at some point and explore and learn and discover himself and all of that educational stuff. But it's not, I'm not going that deep with it. It's an enjoyable novel, hopefully, so it will be he's sightseeing. He's got sort of 6 weeks to kill, let's say. You can do most of America, in, albeit briefly, and very roughly in 6 weeks. So I'm thinking he's got 6 weeks. I'm thinking something to provoke this kind of trip, because it would cost thousands potentially. It could cost many thousands potentially, but he's on a budget. And this is the other thing I'm thinking. The underlying character's point is the character is a major cheapskate, has money, doesn't want to spend it, lives very thriftily, very economically, has, hopefully that won't happen again, has an ethos whereby I don't even want a roof over my head. Just give me just give me a mattress and a toilet. So that's the kind of thing. That's all he needs to get by. But this journey with this female lead, who will not say very much at all, will be quite mysterious, but intrigued by the male lead. And they will move on and depart at some point on the coach journey, and she may have some kind of crisis during the plot whereby she has to disembark the bus and goes off somewhere, and then the rest of the if it was a movie, The rest of the novel would be more of a sort of Dumb and Dumber element, I'm thinking, where the male buddy characters are chasing the female lead. That's what I'm thinking. And ultimately to some success, but I'm not quite sure on how I'm going to end it. Bearing in mind the lead character is there for 6 weeks, what can I do with that? Is it such a romance that it develops to the point of a proper relationship? I don't know. Or maybe the novel is just that. Maybe the novel is just it's a piece on 6 weeks of a nearly romance that just ends and fizzles and goes back to England and mundanity, and that's actually more what a novel's about. Maybe it doesn't end that way. It's not a Hollywood ending, it's not a Hollywood movie, it's just a novel. So that's what I've got in mind. These things may change as I learn that I don't know much about Chicago, and I'll have to change the city also. Something like that might come up, but that's not essential so far. What I've got is the characters, and everything else can be worked around. So I've got a male lead, which is myself, so that'll be easy to write with a few tweaks. I'll call him something else. I haven't quite decided yet. I've got some amusing names, but I'm taking this novel seriously. I'm going to give him a decent, believable English but quite quirky name, possibly, or quirky surname, something like that. I don't know. Believable, not Hugh Grant, and that should be fairly straightforward to write, from my perspective at least. It should be a different character, because I believe I am a different character to those that I've seen in films, which may or may not contribute to the success / failure of the novel. I don't know. But they're not all, we're not all generically grizzled Ben Affleck looking guys. So that's what I've got in mind.